Well, hi YouTubers, hi, I'm back. This is my 60 books, and this is also to do with my separate thing, which is a blog that I've had for a while. I've been on it for a while as well. What happened was I critique Disney films from Snow White onwards, the live action animations, and also the live actions. However, I got up to Aladdin, okay, of the Disney animated films, and Robin Williams' death was still a bit fresh, and I felt wrong to kind of critique that, so I sort of stopped it there. And then in the real world, my father passed away, and also my master's degree kind of kicked in. So I've been off it for a while, so I'm trying to revive it. It's a good way of getting back into that momentum, okay, of critiquing Disney films. I thought was to combine it with my book reviews, and it's Disney's A Whole New World, A Twisted Tale. What if Aladdin had never found the lamp? Great twist, great twist. Because the thing is, when it comes to the live actions, you've got to be very, very careful. If you go in the opposite direction, it kind of alienates the fans. I mean, okay, good example, look at Maleficent. Maleficent, the mistress of all evil. Maleficent, the mistress of all evil. She essentially was date raped by Phillip, had her wings cut off, put up this barrier to protect the Moors from the humans. And even though she had ample opportunity okay, to kill baby Aurora, because she knew exactly where she was, she wound up protecting her. I mean, Diaval was great in that film, but I felt like it's strange that Maleficent, who's always been the mistress of all evil, wasn't evil at all. Okay, so, and the whole True Love's kiss, okay, well, Maleficent was a nice touch, but those three fairies were so inept. And Queen Lee was died a year before she even met her daughter. It was just a waste of opportunity, really. So, visually astounding, a very kind of Lord of the Rings thing going on. Other ones, live actions. Obviously, there's Aladdin, and that's got a lot of criticism. Beauty and the Beast was visually stunning, but I felt just kind of lacked something. And that's the thing. And Dumbo I haven't actually seen. So, if you go in a different direction, it alienates the fans. And if you go for the same, it's just too samey. I mean, Cinderella I thought was beautiful and stunning, and fantastic costumes. However, a little bit miscast. Cinderella was a little bit inept. Dudley sisters were actually quite, they weren't that bad. Well, they were quite bad, okay, but it could have been worse, okay. And Hannah Bonham Carter as a fairy godmother was woefully miscast. Okay, so I'm making that clear, right? And the thing is, recently, twisted versions of fairy stories have become quite the thing. Now, look at Once Upon a Time. Have you ever tried to explain Once Upon a Time to someone without giving yourself a headache? Okay, so Once Upon a Time is a story of Storybrooke, and it centres of the story of Prince Charming and Snow White's daughter, who was basically transported to this magical realm. So they transported from magical realm into the human world and into our world, and then everyone in the magical realm followed suit. All their minds were erased, and Rumpelstiltskin is the Beast in Beauty and the Beast. Is also the TikTok from Peter Pan. His father is Peter Pan. He did save his save his son Bay, who wound up sleeping with Emma, the daughter of Prince Charming and Snow White. Snow White is absolutely boring. Snow White is the most boring character in this. She's a badass in the magical realm. She's born in the human world, and has this thing about this pink cardigan. The hypocrisy in the character is unbelievable. You have Snow White when she was Mary Margaret. When she was Mary Margaret, she basically slept with Dr. Frankenstein. And when it all came about, Prince Charming knocked out Dr. Frankenstein. However, at the time, Prince Charming was married to someone else. No one called him out on that. Okay. And also, in the magical realm, you see the fairy godmother get destroyed by Rumpelstiltskin, which is like, oh my good god, he actually killed the fairy godmother. Then you later found out that the fairy godmother was an absolute bitch who wouldn't let Grumpy, who at then was known as Dreamy, and a fairy get together, because basically the blue fairy is a bit of a racist, and she only thinks that humans should get happy ever afters. So basically, Dreamy became Grumpy and a miserable bastard. And yeah, so when you go back look at that episode, you're like, yes, death to the blue fairy. She earned it. She deserved it. Sorry, she deserved it. Exactly. So you can't. Oh, and the wicked stepmother, okay, is her name's Cora, and she's awesome. So she's more of a tragic figure. Lots of tragic figures in this. Yes, that is me trying to explain Once Upon a Time. Oh, I sent her this is a boy called Henry who believes in magic. Oh, and Emma dates for a while. No, I'm still seeing it. It dates for a while Pinocchio, who she's kind of raised with, and dates for a while Pinocchio, but he's literally turning into wood, and he actually does turn into wood. But by her, because she doesn't believe in magic, he just appears dead. But when the spell is broken and he'll come back, Pinocchio's actually a little kid. So obviously, yeah. Oh, hold on. And Mulan and Aurora are really good friends. Basically, Mulan falls in love with Aurora, so Aurora gets so Aurora's broken hearted, but then Aurora gets with Little Red Riding Hood, and then they're happy together, and then they stay in the magical realm. And technically, since Little Red Riding Hood is also she's a werewolf, so she's also not just Little Red Riding Hood, she's also the big bad wolf. Then have I given you a headache yet? Yeah. So Twisted Tales. Robert Carlyle plays Rumpelstiltskin, and he's just awesome because he always is. So, Twisted Tales or fairy stories are kind of like been mainstream now. And this book came out in, when did it come out? It's by Liz Braswell, and it came out in 2016. Okay. So, now the thing is about this book though is the first 80 pages of this book is literally a retrend of the Disney film. That's for 30 pages. Here we go, like this bit here. This is when Aladdin is in the Cave of Wonders. Okay. What are you doing? Aladdin cried. Giving you your reward, your turn of reward. He screamed and managed to kick Aladdin's face after Abby bit the man on the toe. Aladdin tumbled back into the cave, falling into the darkness and lava. Aladdin was stuck, still hundreds of feet below ground, with no way out, no treasure, and no lamp. This is when the twist comes in. Jafar's got the lamp, not Aladdin. So, and then, obviously, Jafar does the big reveal of the genie in front of Jasmine and the Sultan. And this is the bit where another twist comes in. Since you used to solve man, I didn't come here to discuss the fate of one street rat. I came to tell you that your reign, I'm afraid, is now at an end. I mean it, Jafar said, drawing his words. Your reign has come to an end, and mine is beginning. Then with hot prickles of creeping horror, she began to figure it out. Her nurse had told her tales of magic of the jinn and the things that lurked in deep deserts. She'd also read many books of legends herself. The language etched in the base of the lamp was old, very old. At first nothing happened. Then a tiny wisp of blue smoke began to curl up out of the spout. Yow! The band of blue slowed down, expanded, and became a person. Half of a person. Half of a very big blue person with a golden earring and the golden wristbands of a slave. He was bald except for a tiny black top knot held with a golden thong and a beard with a scrolly pointed tip. His bottom was smoke. 10,000 years, he cried in a booming voice. 10,000 years have I imprisoned in the lamp. Genie, Jafar said with an oily smile. Genie, Oi, it feels so good to get out. You know what's like spending 10,000 years without a massage or a bath? Genie, Jafar interrupted. I'm your master. Heed my words. Well, here's a man who obviously knows what he wants, the genie said, smoothing what little hair he had and straightening his sash. Lay it on me, master. I am granted 3 wishes by you, is that not correct? A genie drew himself up and suddenly had his robes of a scholar. He started to count things out on his fingers as he was giving a lecture. And that's the thing. So, Aladdin is not in this scene. It's Jafar, Jasmine, and the Sultan. They go through the possibilities, and then Jafar declares himself Sultan. There you go. With the support of the palace guards and incredible, powerful genie and Princess Jasmine, I, Jafar, am the new Sultan of Agrabah. I was Sultan of the people, attentive to your every need. And then he drops money on the crowd, because the crowd don't believe it. A small golden coins fell to the sky and tinkled on rooftops and cobblestones. Long live Jafar. When the rush was over, they finally began to cheer. After a moment, he turned to the 3 standing behind him. He put a hand on the old Sultan's chest. There you see, he said with a sneer. That is real power. Then he pushed the Sultan over the balcony. Now, one thing I will give Liz Braswell is this. is one of my issues about the original Aladdin is essentially the Sultan basically said they're playing with his goddamn toys whilst people starved. As a leader, it wasn't particularly that great. And this book doesn't really hide away from that fact. The Sultan was a terrible leader. When you hear about all the street rats in the streets and the punishments and execution, so it's running himself in luxury whilst people starved. He's got no idea. So even though it's quite a comic death in some respects, even though it is quite like that comes out like that's page 100, and that's oh my god, oh my god. But the issue with this book as well, okay, I'm gonna go further on here, okay, is a lot of the character development that you would expect from Aladdin and the genie goes to Jasmine and the genie, which is a little bit strange as well. I mean, it's accepted, but you kind of get to see more the genie's point of view. Now, the genie, everyone talks about the genie as is exuberant and fun-loving. Actually, no, a genie's desperate. If you watch the original Aladdin properly, look at the genie. He's doing what he can. He wants Aladdin and Jasmine to get together. Not more for themselves, more for him. The genie is a desperate character. He's tragic and he's desperate, and he just wants to be free. Here we go. Right, this bit here. This is when the Jafar wants to marry Jasmine, as you do. This is when talking about the Jinn. All my people are gone. The Jinn are dead as a race, disappeared from this world completely. Yet that happened sometime in the last 10,000 years. I'm not sure exactly how or when, since I was in a lamp when it happened. So I'm the only one left, so I'm all alone in the world. And even if by some magic I manage to get set free, I have no home left to go to and no one to see. Oh, did you escape you, your Royal Highness? Noticed too. The get free part. The genie brandished his forearms in her face. Try not to shrink back from the golden wristbands that came painfully close to break in her nose. Enslaved. These are manacles, sweet cheeks. But what would you understand about that? Sonny looked exhausted. He physically shrunk in size, seeming to somehow draw into himself and away from Jasmine at the same time. Your princess trapped among men. You have no idea what it feels like to feel trapped. Dialogue that normally is between Aladdin and Jasmine. I like that dialogue. So, yeah, so Genie is more of a tragic character than with absolute exuberance, because that's more of his thing with Aladdin. I liked it. That was quite clever. One thing I did like this book as well is when it takes the actual dialogue or famous lines and kind of twist them quite funnily. This bit is when, oh yeah, spoilers here by the way. This bit is, the book's been out for 4 years, 3 years, sorry. Is, it takes the original kind of dialogue, most famous lines of dialogue, and twists them in to be a bit more cynical. Here we go. A fortnight ago, this is after that Jasmine has Aladdin have escaped together. A fortnight ago, I didn't understand markets, thievery, or poverty. Today I'm learning there are different levels of thievery. Jasmine said, shaking her head. Yeah, try to get stuck in the belly of a stone tiger, Aladdin suggested. That will really open up a whole new world for you. Okay, so Jasmine and Aladdin essentially have the plot and scheme of the street rats of Agrabah to take back Agrabah itself. And one thing though is this: now, if you bring out the timeline of Aladdin, how long is it? It's a couple of days. Jasmine and Aladdin meet, captured Cave of Wonders, pretending to be Prince Ali, as you see, yeah, that one. The big reveal. What is it? 4 or 5 days? This goes on for a couple of weeks. For a couple of weeks, Jasmine is hiding out within Aladdin and the street rats, trying to find a way to take back her kingdom. So even though this book is about magic, that's the problem, this book is about magic, I like the fact that the relationship between Jasmine and Aladdin grows more organically, it grows a bit more naturally. But the problem with this book is Aladdin is obviously, it's only now about an hour and a half long, I think. This book lacks magic. Now, obviously, it's a more cynical take of Aladdin. Iago doesn't speak, by the way. He's not part of any of this. He's just there. Same with Abu. Abu's more in the background. There's no magic to it. It's cynicism, to the point. Realistic in some respects. But lacking the magic, it kind of lacks something else. It's more of a straightforward telling. And also, this bit, spoiler here, this is when they break into the castle and you kind of see that the person that Jasmine's becoming, Jasmine looked from the staff to Jafar. The man who murdered her father was right there. The man who held all of her Agabite in full. The man who brought nothing but suffering to everyone. Oh yes, Jafar, Jasmine said with an angry smile. I read his books and stuff from all over the world. I picked up a few that I thought would be useful, committed them to memory. Jasmine, Aladdin said slowly, she loomed over like a predator. And now I think I'll put an end to all of this. You will die, powerless and shame, and completely alone, just like my father. You wanted a princess, any princess, you wanted to be sultan, you wanted to be all champions of royalty, but guess what? She would have stayed Grand Vizier. Being royal is far more deadly, and not how I found out, as I nearly found out. And you're about to. Jasmine tries to kill Jafar. Okay? Well, learning magic of herself. Basically, if you kill him, you'll become him. She becomes way too... She becomes desperate, and she literally tries to kill Jafar. But this is when the big kind of what the hell moment happens, because instead of Jasmine freeing the genie, instead of Aladdin doing it, because a little bit further on in the book where Aladdin was like, and the Aladdin genie, when they met her, they were like, this could have been so different, we could have been friends. The person who breaks the curse is when Jafar's dying. Jafar kept laughing, but this time, slightly weakly, he coughed and cleared his throat one last time. Hear me, genie. I wish that when I die, all magic dies with me. And Jafar dies, obviously, and literally the genie. This is it. At first, Aladdin was confused by the sound. Then he realised in truth that the ghouls will return to their natural state, dead. There was shouts of confusion and then triumph outside beyond the balcony. Everyone in the room turned to look at the genie, but he wasn't there. In his place, an ordinary sized mouth, ordinary flesh and hair, and his skin still had a faint bluish tinge. It was looking at his arms, spraying out his fingers, twitching his toes. He snapped his fingers, nothing happened. Genie, you're no longer magical, Jasmine said. I never thought I'd be free again, he said hollowly. I never said not like this. I'm human, ordinary, normal. That's because you don't have your powers, Aladdin began. They weren't my powers, the genie snapped. They were who I was. What all did you know? We can do these things the same way you monkeys can walk upright or read books. It's just the way we were born. That's the transformation. Okay. Now, a bit was where basically Jafar is raising the dead. Ghouls. So basically they're going to save... And if you die, you get turned into a ghoul. Okay. So, saving the world from the undead, it just feels... After all the stakes were so high in this book, and yes, the book actually, I appreciated the book, and this Braswell did it. I just felt really, really kind of anticlimactic. There's no wonder. Wonder is a theme throughout Aladdin. You have the Cave of Wonders. You have the Magic Carpet Ride. You have wonder and wonderment when the genies turned, well, human. No longer a slave, no longer a genie. And this book was good, but I felt I wanted some more wonder to it. I did like that the relationship between Jasmine and Aladdin grew naturally. It wasn't rushed. I did like that. But I would have liked a bit more wonderment and magic in this book, if you understand. Anyway, obviously the original Aladdin is, was that 92? So, and the live action comes out in about 10 days, so I think. So, I'll get around to actually start blogging about it again. But until then, this is Nicolix, this is my sister books, this is me. Sign off. I do recommend this book, it's like the first in the series. And I'm signing off. Bye now.